Stop looking at my boobs. Just kidding. Sales 101. I was never formally trained in sales, but I was thinking, why don't you use the sales techniques that people know and have learned in school and in their jobs and use it on getting women? Brilliant, right? So today I'm going to talk about five sales, old school sales techniques. I did a little research online and I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to apply it. Hello there, Mr. Pirate Brain and Tala and Jose, and thank you, and Niraj. How can we apply the 5 sales techniques to approaching a woman in a bar? Hello, David. So I'm going to say hi to everyone right now, and happy Friday, happy St. Patty's Day. I hope everyone's going to have a great time tonight if you're going out. Yes, you did, Brendan, you're right in time. Death of a Salesman, one of my favorite theatrical events. Can I get your number, if you don't mind? Just kidding. Yeah, do you remember? That was such a funny skit on Comedy Central. So yeah, all these, I have these 5 ideas of how low. Okay, Naomi's cool dad. Can you wait another 5 or 10 minutes or super chat me, and I'll get to the question right now, and I'll stop what I'm doing. Moaz Kendra Loss. Okay, all right. So, okay. Yes, all right. So I'm going to go through these techniques, and I want to hear what you have to say about them, and if you have any ideas for how we can implement sales techniques and how to ask a girl out of any age, but especially this might work with an older woman. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, and I'm going to start with the first one. Is if these are old school techniques by a guy named Neil Patel. There's 5 of them. The first thing he said is put your foot in the door and agree to something small. So I think that, again, it comes from door-to-door salespeople, but if you're in person and you see an attractive person, no matter what her age is or whatever, and you walk up and you're talking to her, about something in the surroundings or whatever, ask her for something small, like, can I get the name of the perfume you're wearing? It's like, so I love it. Or you got your pen ready. Or, something like, what is the drink you're drinking? It looks delicious. So you're going to ask her just a question to get the conversation going and to get just more of a dialogue going, and not like, can I get your number? Can I get your number? You don't want to do that. The worst thing to do is just come up with the direct thing that you want. So we're going in sales techniques here. And if you guys come up with other examples, I'm open to hearing them. But the first one is that just get your foot in the door technique. In other words, just start that conversation. Hey, you're so pretty and look young. No, I don't mean to shut you down, but and this technique, I think it's going to have to be even more subtle than that. I want it to be like she's not realizing that you're hitting on her technique. Like you're just curious about her. So that's just get your foot in the door. Number 2 is get your face in the door. Just get your face in the door, just the tip. Meaning, ask for something enormous. Ask her, like, would you like to go on an African safari with me? Something completely out of line, outlandish, or something like, how would you like to go with me to the Academy Awards? I don't know. Something that is ridiculous, that she knows is ridiculous and you know it's ridiculous. But if you're asking her for something more than what you're able to give her and it's outlandish, then you can go in for, okay, if I can't get that, can I get this? So can I buy you a drink? Can I sit in this chair next to you? Is this seat taken? Now you're starting the conversation. So, it's a little bit of like a shock technique to try to ask for something huge, and then she'll like, can I, take you home tonight? She'd be like, what? No, just kidding. Just want to know if I can, sit next to you for a few minutes and talk about the weather. Okay, so number 3, it's the give me a week technique. So that means like just give a time duration, promise something in a certain amount of time. So yeah, we want to stay away from the lines. We just want to get in like the other way. Hey there, Tom. Okay. So, yeah, I don't want to go to here's my phone number, because I wanted to we're doing a sales pitch here, okay? So the people that are in sales will know this better than me, because I'm not a trained salesperson, but I'm talking about like, when I first went from being friends with my husband to going on an actual date with my husband, he said something to me like, can I kiss you tonight? And that I obviously knew him. And then to prove that he was more serious, he was like, I'm going to take you to breakfast tomorrow morning. So to give a certain amount of something in the future that you could promise something by, will get the connection going quicker. So that would be the technique of give me a week technique, or give me a day. If you're terrible at sales, listen to some of these techniques and see if they would apply to meeting women. The fourth one is scarcity. Act now or you'll never see the deal again. So you could say something like, this is after you've had a little bit of a conversation with her, like something, Netflix and chill? No. This one would be like, I don't know how much time I'll have here. Maybe, I have to leave in a second. I'd love to continue talking to you. So that might be the same as like, let me have your phone number because I gotta run and I don't know how much time I'll have with you. So you give her like a reason to like, oh, he's leaving, that kind of thing. So in other words, the scarcity would be like that we don't have much time together, and I want to just make sure that I get this taken care of before, it's too late. Again, these are just like techniques that I just read and thought, what if we apply these sales techniques to getting someone's phone number? And then the last one is it's the badmouth the competition, but no, we don't want to badmouth the competition. That's old school. We're going to make it like we're just going to differentiate ourselves from the competition. So if there's a lot of young guys in the bar, for example, how do you differentiate yourself from all those people without saying, oh, that guy's a jerk and that guy's this and that? So you want to make sure that you can just show what it is that makes you special compared to everybody else. So you might say, I'm different from the most of the people here because I really care about what you're saying. I really am interested to see what you have to say. Or, hey, Kazi. So again, those would be the 5 techniques that I think might work, or at least worth a try. If you're having difficulties walking up and just starting a conversation, or having the conversation and not knowing what to say, you could try some of those techniques, and I will list them below in the description box, and I might even do another video later on about it where I can give more concrete examples of what I'm talking about. So if you're just tuning in, I'm KarenLee. I forgot to even say that earlier. And I would love to, cool. I got to hear about this, Kazi. I want to hear what you have to say about the techniques. And I also want to hear what's going on in your life and how these videos have been helping you. And if there's any questions that you have. Again, I'm going to take the questions and comments first if you guys are on a computer where you could super chat me. And the other way you could reach me, there's something I wanted to tell you about also, is my Patreon page, which is where you can make a monthly donation, like, $1, $2, $5, $10, whatever, and you'll be able to interact with me, because a lot of you want private consulting and want to email me or text me or message me back and forth, and I just don't have the time to do it for everybody that sees me on YouTube. So this is a way, if you're a patron, I definitely will be able to do that with you. So in order to get to that, the link is below, but it's also Patreon. It's Patreon/KarenLee Potter. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start at the beginning. Okay, so first of all, does anyone have anything urgent that they need asked? Well, I'm going to just say, Kazi, how did you score your second cougar this morning at yoga class? I would love to hear about that. And yoga, I told you guys, is the best way to meet women, because there is like a 90-to-10 ratio. And the 10% usually, in my classes in Hollywood, are usually gay guys. So you got a really good ratio of guys to girls, or girls to guys, if you go to yoga class. And you don't even have to be good at it, you just have to show up. So make sure to thumbs up. And it's also going to not be bad for you in general because yoga is phenomenal. You're still at her place. You are helping her with some poses. That is incredible. Great call, Kazi Kazi. Live in Africa. Guess which part? Oh, God, you did tell me. It wasn't Zambia. It was, I forgot. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was West Africa? Why do women want you when they think you are with someone? Well, that's scarcity. If they think that you're with someone, there's a scarcity of resources to go around. So it's the same thing. I've gotten texts from people that said, why am I so attracted to married women? And I think it's because it's a challenge and it's safer because you can't get rejected. Then personally you could say, oh, well, she's married, so that's why she's rejecting me. And also I think it's mostly the scarcity. It's this conquest thing. Gambian. Okay, thank you. And yoga women are limber. The sex has to be great. Yeah, definitely. You can use the focus too. Are men who just want to take advantage of lovely older women and steal them the money? Huh. What are you asking exactly? Are men who just want to take advantage of lovely older women and steal them the money? So you're asking me or telling me that's your thought? Let's see. Netflix and chill. Okay. So Tom, you were terrible at sales. So make it sure that she doesn't know it's a sales technique. I don't think you want to offer her number. I personally think that offering the phone number directly is not something that I would want. I mean, I like a guy that takes control more, like more assertive, not aggressive. You got any other way to super chat, like PayPal or some other platforms you donate? Yes, definitely. I have a way that anybody can find me, and that is on Patreon. And you could, for $1, join my Patreon page. So yeah, Patreon, exactly. I always call it P-A-T-R-E-O-N. Thank you for doing that for me. And yes, if you sign up for Patreon, it's like $1 a month, $5, $10. $10 gets you special access to photos and Snapchat and things like that. YouTube takes about 30% of every super chat. Oh, I know. I don't care about that though. It's more that you're supporting me that I'm doing that, and I'd love to shout out to you. She's taking a shower after giving me a blowjob. All right, give me some tips for sex. Kazi, I think you're doing well. What's going on, Mighty Longwick? You were doing the warrior too, and she just started giving me a blowjob. That is hilarious. Yoga women. All right. So I appreciate everyone's support on Patreon and Super Chat. And don't worry if what YouTube takes away. I don't care. It's not a big deal to me. But yes, I definitely will answer your questions privately in messages on my Patreon page. I pay a lot of attention to that, and I put pictures and videos up. She's naked. I used to sell musical instruments, and I found that the first technique is to find out what the customer needs first. That is a great technique, Mr. Pirate Brain. And what I like about that is, again, you have a product, and if you don't know that she needs it, and the product obviously is you, if you don't know that she needs a boyfriend because she might have a boyfriend, there's no point of continuing the conversation. If you find out what exactly she's looking for, is she looking for someone completely different from her ex-husband, like someone who actually gives a shit about her or listens to her, then you can kind of play off of, this is my strength. This is what I have to offer that differentiates me from everybody else. So that's a really good technique. You just want to find out what the person needs, and then you can go for it. And I definitely appreciate your likes. If you like what I'm saying, or if you like this video, or if you like just my tank top. I appreciate you guys giving thumbs up. Hey, Tafis, if you are just watching this later on, definitely give the thumbs up, and I'm so happy to have you watch my show. Okay. 3 thumbs up, yay! So anyway, what are the other questions that you have about sales or anything regarding life in general, or St. Patrick's Day, which I hope everyone's going out to have some fun tonight. And don't get too drunk, because you'll end up feeling it the next day, and nobody wants a drunk person hanging at them. Oh, look at that. I got 6 thumbs up. Kazi, are you still with this woman who is probably wondering what the hell you're doing? Put her on. Let me talk to her, that cougar. I love it. All right. So, questions. Go for it. Super chat me or just ask your questions and I will listen up. Go for it. Sometimes I get like an onslaught and then tape delay. Nandu, what's that? Okay. Hi, Chad. You're gonna eat her pussy. Great. Hey there. Did I tell you what I saw? No, Brendan, you did not. Clash claim. Karen, how do I first talk to her? Well, okay, so the initial way you talk to anyone, whether they're a man or a woman, is to be in a close proximity, right? Okay, Kazi. So say you're at a bar and you happen to be sitting next to the person. Talk about something around the surroundings. It's very easy, just like you talk to a guy. If you're in a sports bar and you're watching the Chicago Bulls play on TV. That's because I'm from Chicago. I would say something about the game. If she's not watching the game and she is drinking a fancy drink with umbrellas coming out of her or anything, you can say something about the drink. If she's got like an incredible, really cool earrings like this, you could say like, oh, are those earrings DNA? Just talk about things that, might be interesting in general to any human being that you're talking to, just starting a pleasant conversation. And I know a lot of you guys tell me how nervous you get because if they're really, really attractive, you start going, ah. But you can overcome all that by just focusing on what she's saying. Just like if you were actually at a sales job, you'd be focusing on the person and what their needs are. As Mr. Piper Brain said, if you're able to get her phone number and type in the number to your phone to ring your phone there, and you got her number. Brendan, I would get, hi there, CR Jester. The reason that I think that you want the number to be way down the line, that's one of the later steps, is because you haven't developed a friendship even or some sort of a relationship at all with her. How do you portray your alpha characteristics to really get her to desire you? Again, Naomi's dad, patience. If you were selling door-to-door brooms, the first thing you wouldn't walk in and say, give me your money, here's my broom. Because you don't know if this woman needs a broom, right? You don't know that the person next to you is going to be interested in you because she doesn't know who you are, and she's not going to give you a phone number to a stranger, and it's not important to get her phone number. What's important is to establish this connection. Okay? If you agree with me, please let me know by saying thumbs up here. Well, let's continue on. What was amazing when you were with your boyfriend is the look you had in your eyes. I could see there was love there. Aw. Yeah, I happen to be very much in love with my boyfriend. I would not be with someone who I did not love. And I was not into him because of the money. Certainly not. And I wasn't into him because of any of the other characteristics that some people think older women are into younger guys for. I was just interested in him because he had a good personality, and the truth of the matter is he listened really well. Now, if you're in a sales job, you know how to listen already. He happened to be a bartender at the time, so in addition to his sales job that he was working for a company, so those two things made him really good at listening and then providing feedback. So those are really important qualities, and they affect your whole life. So listening is really much more important than getting her phone number, because that's the ultimate goal, is to establish a relationship, but that has to come way down the line after you have some sort of dialogue. Because I know when I was out at the bars and a guy came up to me and he said, can I have your number? Even if I was talking to them for a while, if I wasn't that interested, I just got a little nervous about giving my phone number to a stranger. Because sometimes, and I'm sure none of you guys would make this mistake, sometimes they would be drunk and they would start calling me at the end of the night at 2 or 3 in the morning. And there's nothing worse than getting that phone call at 2 or 3 in the morning from some stranger that you don't know, and you're like, why did I get my phone number out? I gotta stop doing that. That's how I felt. I felt like I was invaded. And you might be able to catch some of the young girls giving you your phone numbers out earlier. and then they'll just ghost you anyway. But the older women, they kind of are a little scared about their privacy issue. So the phone number thing has to come later. That's why I wanted you to understand the sales thing. If you're a good listener, she will offer her number. Exactly, that's my point. So yeah, she's gonna wanna see you again if you're a good listener. She's gonna wanna see you again if she finds you funny or entertaining or attractive, or there's a chemical connection. I mean, there's so many times that I've had situations where I'm attracted to some guy I'm talking to, and I literally will say, here's my number. You know, I've done that. I've been at a bar, sitting down next to some guy. I was waiting for somebody else. He was waiting for a date. And we had this whole conversation going. And by the end of the conversation, I'm like, here's my number. Call me if the date doesn't work out. And what do you think happened? Got the phone call. Hey, bad mom, is the ask out and you shall receive a good way to ask out an older woman's number? I think you missed a little bit of the point of what I was saying. Don't ask for the number. Like what we just talked about. Just give this, okay, the worst that can happen is that she has to go and she runs out the door before you get the phone number. So if you sense that she has to leave soon, or if there's something in the conversation that indicated that her friends are meeting her, whatever, that's when you say, I know you're in a hurry. I'd love to see you again. Here's my number. Then you just hand her your number. Or I know you're in a hurry. I find you super interesting. I'd love to keep this conversation going later. Give me your number. And she'll give you her number if she's interested. You don't want to like grab this number from someone who's not interested anyway, right? Why would you want someone else's phone number that, that's not interested in you? Because then if she's not interested in you, it's going to be like a lost cause anyway. So you only want to get the phone numbers if you think there's a chance. I notice older sexy women always walking fast. It's a chase to stop them. Well, that's because, like, if I'm walking across the street, sometimes guys will come up to me even when I'm waiting at a stoplight, and they'll start talking to me, and I'm not in the mood to be approached by somebody when I'm trying to get across the street and I'm late for a class, I'm late for an appointment. So yeah, I get a little concerned when I'm out in the open and someone just is gonna be kind of like annoying me or scary. Ex-gamer, so do you masturbate? Okay, there's a segue for you. I found that people feel they know you after the third meeting. That could be 3 meetings in 3 weeks or 3 times in one night. It took me a while to understand that. Yeah, I mean, think about it. It could take years before you really get to know someone, to know whether or not they're good people or that there's a connection and that you grow with each other. So, yeah, I mean, it takes a while to get to know someone. So you're not, the first thing that you don't want to immediately go, here's my number, take my number. Sales 101, don't push. When you feel pushed, like if I get a call from like these telemarketers and they start going, I have this great way to lower your interest rate, well, click. I don't want to hear that. What I want to know is if I have a need, what is it how can they fill that? Always leave her wanting more. Black King, absolutely. Absolutely. Less is more. And another tip, if you're texting back and forth with a girl, always let her have last text. Little tip for you guys. I found that like if I always had the last text, it's almost like annoying, okay? And it doesn't make you a challenge. I don't like playing games. Don't get whatever I'm talking about confused with playing games. I'm not teaching you to be pickup artists or all that kind of stuff. I'm teaching you to have normal kindness and decency when you're meeting somebody. I'm teaching you to just be yourself, because I have not met one person so far on this channel that has not been wonderful. I mean, on this live stream, sometimes afterwards, the trolls come on and say mean, shitty things to me, and I just block them. Or if they say racist stuff, or if they say stuff about my age or criticizing something that I do, then I just block them. So, but typically, you guys are all nice people. If you can let that side out to anybody, you're gonna meet so many like wonderful people, even if they're just friends of yours. It's just great to accumulate treasures. Okay, running out of time here. Let's see. Is it bad to tell an older woman through text that your main objective is to have sex with her, or after you feel you've texted her a lot? You definitely, if you, bad man, if you only want to have sex with her, I would think in person would be the best time to have that discussion. What, you know, unfortunately, texting has taken over like the world. And the only time I think texting really works is if you're like, let's meet me here, or you know, making a fact, a point of fact. You know, I'll pick you up at this time, or you know, something like that. Or if you're in a relationship and you're playing games back and forth, like you know, having sexting or something. That's down the line. But a phone call is way better because so many things are misinterpreted. I can't tell you how many times I looked at this text and I'm like, what does he mean by that? You know, why did he say that? Why haven't I heard from him? And why haven't I heard from him? Because he fell asleep. You know, and so texting is not the best way. Cool, shared. Oh, this is Jamestown Revival, people. This is a smaller band that I've seen a few times, and they're great, really good. What do you think about fantasy of an older or adult woman? I think that's fine. Why not? Fantasize about whatever you want. Fantasies are awesome. Everybody should fantasize. And people do hide behind their texts. And, you know, it just, man up. I think especially with an older woman, texting is just, you're just getting a false impression of who that person is. Sometimes people get really like bold in what they say in their text, and then in person they get really shy. So you don't want to misinterpret who you are. Oh my God, you are hilarious, Kazi. This whole chain has been Kazi giving me the blow-by-blow discussion of how he met some girl in yoga class, took her home, and is having great sex with her. So I am glad that happened for you, Kazi, and hey, more power to you. Yoga class rocks. I hope that's not the only reason. I wish I could send you pictures. No, I will take a pass on the pictures. I can use my imagination. Sierra Just, I feel it's best to be straightforward with a woman always. You might be surprised. They might want the same thing from you. Most can say yes or no. Yeah, exactly. You'd be surprised that older women especially don't like the game playing. So if you just come right out and say, this is what I want, and are you interested in this? She might be fine. She might be down with it. I mean, when I was first single, I was just down with it. I wasn't up for a relationship, so if I was with a younger guy and it was just mostly sexual, hey, nothing wrong with that. As long as both of you are two consenting adults, why not? Yeah, I just said it. Why not? Where do you actually look for middle-aged adventurous women? Buy my video called How to Catch a Cougar. I describe in detail 5 steps from where do you go to meet them to how do you get their phone number at the end. Okay, so it's on my website. It's at an introductory low price. Here's my sales pitch, $9.99. You can't beat that price for the incredible tips and advice that I give you on how to catch an older woman. So most of you guys have noticed that I talk a lot about this older woman, younger man niche, but it's really for any age, man or woman, and it's a good way for you to figure out how you could introduce yourself and end up getting a relationship out of it. Have I met Freddy Krueger? Okay, I'm not even going to try to figure out why you would ask that. Texting is so impersonal. Telephone calls show you are available. Yes, exactly. You're signing out for the day because you're exhausted. Kazi, awesome. Congrats. Feet behind the ears, Kazi. Okay, so guess what? Why do you think women act like they are offended when a guy says that they want to have sex with them on Tinder, dating app, etc., when it's clearly made for that? Because a lot of women are just game players, I guess. You know, that's why those apps are just really apps. They're not necessarily the best way to meet people. They're a way to meet people, and there's other ways to meet people. I would say keep all your options open, like, you know, in person. Let people know I'm available to be fixed up. Just, you know, try some dating sites, but don't make it limited to Tinder. Make it a legit dating site like Match.com or any of those kind of, and I get nothing from any of those. Cougar Life I do. If you go to Cougar Life, if you go to my website, KarenLee Potter, there's a link to Cougar Life. I'm not sure if it works, but you could try that. I think it's a free trial. Some of the nice older women at are in church. I do want to make a pass at one or two of them, but how do I avoid them reading off the gospel in Matthew? That's a good question. I guess after church, maybe that would be a good time to be, say something about the sermon. Hi, Barry. Yeah, and Brendan's right. Sex is only part of this relationship. If you really want to meet somebody, just don't do the sex thing unless you're in a position where all you want is just to have sex, which is totally cool too, because at certain times in your life, you don't have room for a relationship. That is another reason why this cougar cub thing works so well, because sometimes a cougar has no room for a relationship either, and all she wants to do is have fun. And I gotta go. I love you all. I hope that you guys check me out on Patreon, as I was talking about earlier, and definitely like this video. Comment below your techniques for sales, and if there's anything that you could think of how to use these techniques in picking up women. I love you all. Mwah! You're welcome for all the tips that I came up with, and I enjoy this so much. Please tune in and put your notifications on, so next time, if you have that little bell next to the subscribe button that says notifications, if you have that pressed, you'll find out when I'm live, and hopefully you'll join us. I love you, and thank you very much. Bye-bye, Peace.